what's with all these earth tones today? For some reason, well, no, that first thing was kind of a Aztec-y looking outfit. Something I keep trying to find some stuff that fits. See, this is huge. And the shoulder pads are way over there. It's just, I love it, but I gotta get some new clothes. I think next time I get um a windfall or blessing, whatever you want to call it, that I shall get at least a couple of skirts or pairs of pants or a couple of jackets or sweaters or something that actually fit that I can switch back and forth till I can, get to work and get a whole new wardrobe because that's really what I need. Um, Let me see. What I wanted to talk about was oh, the camp secondary characters. I forgot about that. Of course, we have the two, the couple, the married couple that's there. um there's also the men that work with him, and like I said, I have not figured out if he tells them he's a musician, then the men he's there with will be musicians. If he doesn't and goes to work doing the dirty work, that kind of the bodies, that kind of stuff, that kind of work, I'm thinking, I don't know what would be more interesting. No, I know which one would be more interesting. I can see the musician, because they can get much more. Um, they have they lived a little bit better. But I'm kind of thinking that the special commandos, I can't say the word, um, would have more access to the sort, or I could have him working in the sorting room. That makes sense too. And then maybe somebody could ask him, do you, are there any musicians? Because that's what they would do. They would, any musicians, because they had their own orchestra. Half the Berlin Orchestra was there. Um, at some of the camps. So it's them two, the people he works with, whoever, the women she has to deal with in the barracks, I guess you would call it. I don't know. I don't know how to. Okay, I don't want it to be too easy for them. I don't want him to be a musician and her work in the kitchen. I mean, I don't want to make it too easy for them. I want it to be hard for them. And so I'm thinking, um, I don't know what her job could be, or if she even has one. You know, that incessive, fearful boredom. That boredom of something bad's going to happen. Come on, can't we just get can we just get with this? And then the terror that she has to live with day by day of some of the stuff she's seen, like some of the stuff I explained, women doctors had to do and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna put a little bit in there, but like I said, I don't want to describe a lot of that stuff. That stuff's not necessary. My readers aren't dummies. They'll get it without you having to me having to spell out every single item. Also, too, I gotta have a really bad guy. I gotta have a really, really terrible guy. And I think he's going to be at the camp, and I think he's going to be one of the guards. He gets his, trust me. Um, Also, something else. Oh, and my female character, the lead character, the Parisian entertainer, she doesn't really have an enemy. The war is her enemy. He's her enemy. You know, um, the things that are going on around her is enough that she don't need a B word after her or some guy after her. You know, um, she has enough going on. Now he's a different thing because it was a lot of political wheeling and dealing in the German hierarchy. There was a lot of crazy stuff. You can read Albert Speer's book about the juggling for power and the everybody was crabs in a barrel mentality. Let's see who we can drag down. Let's see who I can get closer to you know the people that they want to get close to. So I'm thinking maybe. Oh, and he in the second draft he had a really good friend, really close friend. He had gone all the way through um officer candidate school, had gone all the way through elementary school, had known him all his life. I really don't see this version of the character having that kind of friend. I can see him having a kind of good friend, or maybe an associate that he works with that he likes or something like that, but I really can't see him having a little bit boy. Um no, no. You just wait till I get through. You are not starving. I just fed you. I really can't see him having a friend like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he does back in Germany, wherever the devil he comes from, Bavaria, wherever he comes from. Um, that he I can't see the sidekick kind of thing because, like I said, the second officer is a the second version. He's a playboy, so of course he'd have his BFF with him, in Paris, and they're having a good old time, and but I don't know. I don't know. I really can't see that. But like I said, she doesn't. They don't need any adversaries. Trust me. Now in the camp, there was, a lot of people who were just trying to survive and probably did things in their regular life they would not have done. But also there were Zanzibar, stop. Now stop it. You're not that hungry. I just fed you. Stop, Zanzibar. Stop right now. And see, you made me forget what I was talking about. Oh, but there were also people that were just um this was their chance to be unscrupulous. You know what I mean? They look to take advantage of the situation. They took to look to exploit other prisoners, and a lot of that went on. So I'm thinking about maybe having a lot of that stuff going on between the women. Um, I don't know. I don't know. That's something I have to work out. Or maybe they could have like maybe a girl that they know is sleeping with a capo to get extra food or something. I'll figure all that stuff out. Okay, I'll figure that stuff out. Let's see. Do I want to? Yeah, the adversary is war for her. She's concerned. She's got enough stuff on her mind. She does not need to, anything else. Let me see. I'll start on the end of the book. Hopefully, this will be the last one. If I can get to the very end, um, I will. If not, I'll just have to make another one. She, um, what ends up happening is, like I said, they're not together. He's out in the east doing whatever the devil it is he's doing, and she's in Paris trying to make the best of things, and it gets pretty clear after like D-Day that the English and the French and the Americans are coming, and I can't remember when they actually liberated Paris, but she sees him um, at the beach house, how they go, or something. Oh, and I know what I almost forgot. There is a scene where, he's always taking her away. And she says, well, why don't you come and stay with me, one time, stay with me and see, relax and, have somebody cook for you. And, what I mean, she wants to, him in her space, for one of their dates. And she cooks him, some food, German food he hasn't had in a while. She tries her hand at it, it's kind of, he's and I think that's when he really starts thinking about how nice it would be if they could be together, if they could be, whatever. So they spent, I don't know if that's the last time they see each other before she realizes that the war is coming to a close, that the allies are coming, And this is it. This is it. And so all this crazy stuff starts going on. So she's just in her room one night in her apartment, and she hears this banging on the door. Here we go with that again. And it's him, and she had told herself she was never going to see him again. She thought, this is it, he's disappeared. There's no way for her to contact him. So she just thinks, well, last time I saw him, that was it, huh? Because they had no idea that D-Day was actually happening until it was happening. And so um she thinks that this is it, she's never going to see him again. And then he shows up at her apartment one night, and that's when they have the discussion about, um, look, the allies are going to be here in 48 hours. And he goes, yeah, I have, then that means I have 40 hours to spend with you. There's something that kind of happens. It happens in my mind. I don't know if I'm going to put it down. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Maybe. It's kind of how romantic I'm feeling towards the end of the book. Um, and he comes back, like, in the middle of the night, and he says, okay, well, I can't sell it part, and then that gives it away. So after this very special night that they have together, they basically say goodbye. And what he tells her is that, look, I'm going back. Something happens. I don't know what happens to him, in Riga. Something happens as they're leaving and pulling out and pulling back, and it's something retreating, or whatever the devil you call it, that he's, something happens, something really traumatic happens to him, which kind of, leads him to finally go, you know what, I can. Well, actually, what ends up happening is he's ordered to do something, and he doesn't do it. And he kind of, too little too late, makes a stand, takes a stand about something he's not going to do. The war is over. There's no need to do this, whatever this is. I'll figure it out later. And he gets ordered back to Berlin. He gets ordered back to Berlin, and this is what he tells her on this special night that they have. I'm not, maybe I don't know. And he says, well, when I've been ordered back to Berlin, I've disobeyed some orders. This is it. This is the last time this is it, So, um, he, so when he leaves that time, she thinks that's it. Because she thinks, okay, he's going to go back to Berlin, and he tells her that he's going to try and kill, if he can get close enough to Hitler or any of them, that he's going to try to, he's going to try to kill him. He's going to basically try um, to kill him. So she knows that, okay, well, if he says, even if I have to die, so if he takes out a hand grenade and puts it between them and pulls the pin, he's gone. If they catch him trying to kill him, he's gone. If he kills him, just at the board meeting, like, uh uh that Tom Cruise was in it. Valkyrie. That was so cool. Oh man, if he had just, nope, hadn't moved that briefcase. You have to read the book. You have to see the movie. You just be going, why did you move that briefcase? But what happened was that somebody had planted a bomb, in a conference, and Hitler was supposed to be standing right beside the bomb, and somebody kicked the briefcase that had the bomb in it and moved it to the other side of the table, and the table was this really heavy, wooden table, and that's why Hitler wasn't killed. Um, so whenever I see that movie, I'm always like, why'd you move it? Why'd you move it? He'd have been gone. And then the war would have ended a little bit earlier. But that's what kind of gave me the idea that he's finally going to do something. He's finally going to, like I said, too little, too late. He's finally going to do something. So when he leaves, she thinks that's it. About that time is when when they have this very special night together. she realizes she's pregnant because she couldn't get the stuff to put, like, okay, they had what they call a Dutch cap, which was kind of like a diaphragm what we have now, but it went right, just it covered just your cervix, and there was like a spermicide you put on the inside of it basically. And by being war and that kind of thing going on, they ran out of the cream. You know, plus he's the pharmacist, the chemist had ran out of the cream. And because I thought that would be very important because she would definitely be responsible in terms of, yeah, I'll fool around with this guy, but I am not trying to have a child with him. But the chemist ran out of the things, and ran out of prophylactics too, I think that's what they called them, rubbers back then. So something kind of happens that, this kind of thing goes on. um and about the time she figures he's in Berlin, he's dead, she doesn't know, what happened to him. She realizes that um Madame comes to her. It's like 2 months, 2.5 months, or something like that later. And Madame comes to her and says, "Look, so and so was not um, didn't go to Berlin, didn't make it to Berlin. He was captured by the Americans or the English, something like that." And there's two different ways that I had it. In the first draft, the very, very, very first draft, the North Africa one, he is actually I don't know what this is, but just knocking on the door. But he's on his way. They're withdrawing from North Africa, and he comes to her, and tells her, "Look, I gotta go. I gotta go." And he tells her, "Well, meet me in after the war. Meet me in Canada, or meet me somewhere crazy, like that." And she says, "Okay," and some kind of way they do meet, what have you. And then in the second draft, he trying to think, kind of the same thing happens. He gets well, actually, he actually gets captured in his office. That's the scene in my head. These two Americans just walk into his office, and he's go, "Hey guys, what's up?" And they asked him, "Well, where's your gun?" And he's like, "It's in the bottom of the drawer." And they kind of lock him up. But like I said, they're in the same city. They're in Paris together. So she knows that he's just been captured. He's not, you know, there's nothing's happened to him. She knows he's captured. And she, in the end, when she goes to say goodbye to him, it's that double talk thing too, because she's trying to tell him that this is the second draft, and she's trying to tell him that, yeah, I'm not going to be performing for a while. I'm going to be in the country. I'm going to get kind of fat and just kind of lay around. And then finally, he kind of gets it, and he says, of course, the Americans that are standing around are like, looking at her going, "Ooh," and she says to he says something like, one of the soldiers, "Sir, are you all right?" Because he kind of goes kind of like, "Whoa," limp, because she's trying to tell him in her, without saying it out loud, that she's pregnant. And he says, "No, I'm just tired, I guess, because I haven't been sleeping well, and I don't understand it because I always sleep like a baby." And then that's when she knows he understands. And the end of the second version is basically her, she'd come down to headquarters where he was being held to make some kind of statement on his behalf. I don't recall, something like that. And she um leaves, she leaves. The in the end is her leaving. Now the epilogue, which the reader doesn't know about, but I know, is that 20 years later he tracks her down in Paris, and they have a daughter, and that's when he meets his daughter for the first time. It's just a mess. So I am going to stop now and look at this one, because I think this might be the Facebook one, and then finish up the end of the third version.